Welcome to the Just Jim radio show. Thanks for being here. I'm excited. Well, I'm not sure why. I just am excited. I think I'm just excited about life, about how it is and what it is. Yeah, I know that sounds a little unusual with all that's been going on, but I have to say that I'm here with the Just Jim radio show to just do what I can to bring you some inspiration, some information, some fun, some concepts and ideas that might help you see things a little different or experience your life a little bit more fully. And we all have an opportunity to do that every day. And this is just one way I get to share who I am. It's what I am, not what I do. So I'm just being me. Just Jim came out as a result of, I'm a minister and pastor of Sarasota Center of Light, a center that's there to hold a space for people to find their truth, not tell them what it is, and to join with them to develop their own way of seeing and being. And so as I was asked over and over again, what should I call you? Reverend Jim, Pastor Jim? No, just Jim, and it stuck. And when I started the radio show last year, I decided that would be the name of it, because for me, it's about bringing practicality to our life, inspiration to our life, putting a handle on things in such a way that we can be aware and conscious and live differently. And so I've been doing this for decades, over 35 years of counseling, teaching, speaking, writing, helping people find their purpose and their direction, personal and spiritual development. So know that this is a time we get to share together to make a difference in who we are and how we are. And we've been going through some very interesting times these last few months. The awareness of the virus coming into the world and it's spreading to the whole globe, the whole planet. And in each area of the world, it having a different impact and effect, each city having a different impact and effect. And as we're walking through this process and we're coming out of this process together, individually and together, there's a chance to take a different look at who and how we are. And today, the topic we're going to discuss is finding the truth, determining your personal reality. Well, the first part of that, finding your truth. Wow. The truth has been shared in so many different directions about what's been going on in the world and around us. It's hard to know where to look and find it outside of ourselves. And so I'm not talking about the truth that is going on around us. That's something you have to decipher from your own truth from within. And determining your personal reality, well, that's a whole nother subject we'll get to. But they say, seek and you shall find, and there's truth to that. Oh, there's truth right there, having gotten started. In fact, you need to seek in order to find. It isn't going to show up without you looking, at least being aware and being present and allowing yourself to see what's truly going on. And don't think that seek and you shall find that it's lost. It's not. It's right where you are, right how you are. And it's just a matter of beginning to look differently and pay attention differently than you have to see something other than what you've already experienced or expressed. And that's really what we're all working on every day and during this time of evolution in humanity, trying to find a better way to be, to experience ourselves, to share it with one another. They say the truth will set you free. My question after that is, from what? What are we bound by? Well, that's a really, really good question. Because when we're not in touch with what is true and real for ourselves, I'm not talking about around us. Don't think I'm expecting you to adhere to or believe in something. I'm not here to tell you that. But what we can be set free from is what's going on within us. We can be distracted easily by what's going on in our lives. Sometimes something comes up that's confusing. That certainly has happened in this process, this evolution of this virus and us emerging from it. We can be in denial, free from guilt, from remorse, from regret, from so many different things that we carry around inside of ourselves sometimes that keep us from being free. And yet when we take the time to get in touch with our truth, then we arrive. And if we are in denial, we can see it. If we are distracted, we can bring our attention back to where we are. We can let go of fear or guilt or regret or remorse, and we can begin to bring ourselves back to that place of being who we are. Being set free, not by it, but as it. You see, each of us have an opportunity to decide to what degree of integrity and authenticity we can be our truth. And when it comes to the truth, what is it? What is truth? Well, truth is what your belief is in this moment. It's what you believe is true. Finding the truth, the title, it isn't lost. It's right as you, where you are, how you are right now. And there are different levels of truth. There are different ways of looking at truth in your life. There's what I call universal truth. The kind of the worldly view of how you see things, or how you believe, or what you believe the world is, or society is, or our culture, or everything up there and out there as far as the universe is concerned, or this world that we're in. It's that grand scheme of things, sort of out there kind of experience. And as we begin to draw our experience in, then we're able to come to a place where we can experience what I call our life truth. What that looks like is what's closer to home, what's going on around us. We have a more grand scheme of things that we believe is true, but then as we draw it closer to home, it becomes a bit more important, our more inner circles of our life. How do we see our families, our friendships, our community, our spiritual home, how we see our workplaces, how we see how we interact? And boy, I'll tell you, right during this time, it's been really important to recognize that, to discover that, because we've had to pay a lot of attention in the way we're interacting and encountering each other and so on. And so our truth around how we see it, feel it, experience it, express it is really important when it comes to our life truth, which is closer to home. And so we make our way that way, and we slowly bring our attention back to our personal truth, which is within us. This is where everything emerges. It's actually what we bring to our life truth, to our interactions in our life. And right now, that's really, really important. And so we have this opportunity to turn within. And what do you believe is true for you today? Right now, right here. Not just what I'm saying, but whatever's going on in your life, or whatever's happening, whatever decision you're trying to make. Because your truth, what you believe is true in this moment, creates your personal reality. It is the reflection of your personal truth. It's the expression of you, naturally, perfectly. Personal reality, that sounds pretty interesting to say, doesn't it? Sounds like a fancy way of being you. Well, there's some truth to that, and yet your personal reality is not just your truth. As you bring your truth into your life, as you choose and act and think and feel and bring yourself to your life, you are doing it through your perception of life. It's your personal perception rather than a belief. Keep in mind, perception is like an experience of a belief. You believe this, but then you see the world from that place. So your perception and your personal reality is this reflection of your personal truth. And think about what that means, though, as we're talking about your truth. If you're sure of who you know you are, the I am you are, and I mean the declaration of what you say you are, how you say you are, that's a very peaceful place to be. That's who you really are. And a reflection means it's not something you do, it's something that naturally comes from you as you make your way through your life. People might call it different things, confidence, or he's shy, or he's this, or she's that. It doesn't matter how it's described. And every bit of whoever you are, as you see your truth and choose to be it, is perfect. And there's nothing that you can stop your reflection of your personal truth, of your personal reality, making its way into your life. It's what makes you who you are. And your personal reality, it's not based on your philosophy. Your philosophy is something that is a part of who you are, and it's very important. Your personal reality is the basis of your philosophy. Your personal reality is not based on it, it's the basis of it. You may have a belief in a philosophy, a religion, a way of being, a way of life, and it is what it is, and you may relate to it. But you determine your philosophy, not by what's told you or that you learn or you experience, but coming from the truth that you decide is yours and you within you, and then how you relate to it. And it's the way that we deal with everything in life. Right now, trying to find truth in how it's going to be, or how people are going to be, or how it's going to evolve is questionable at best. We only find out as we show up. And how we show up will determine not only how we experience it, but how we have that influence and impact on one another. And so finding our truth and saying, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to be and become. This is how I'm going to show up. That's your part of the whole thing. This is your part, your note in the symphony of life. Now, we say, stay in the moment, be here, and so on and so forth, the place to find your truth. The only place you're going to ever find truth that's valid and real is right now. And how can we not look at our past? We're an accumulation of evidence and activities and, history, and what we've come to believe is basically what we've brought into this moment from what we've already been, become, or experienced. And so we have a past. The whole conversation is, leave the past behind, don't look into the future. Well, yeah, look at the past,